Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day. So welcome back to my video, right? This is a third part 3 of constructing a simple bar chart using R-based package. So in this part 3, we will look into how to change the width and spacing of the bar, adding legend and making horizontal bar chart, and adjusting axis label and title style, rotating the axis label, adjusting the margin of the graph, adding left reference line, adding text, adjust limit of the x or y axis, adjust the background color, and lastly add x axis line. So last video we have looked at how to develop a simple bar chart and adding the color. So this is the last bar that we already done. So let me copy this one, right, to change the width. So first thing that we want to see is to changing the width of the bar. Right, changing the width of the bar. So now if you look at this one, so let me copy this one, right, border. So I just want to make it in simple way, right? So now I want to change the width of the bar, right? So I just use width argument, right? The first one I'm going to use 30, 10 and 20. So if you can see, this is 30, the width of the bar is 30, 10 and 20. So if you want to change to highlight a single bar, right, to make to highlight the bar, that very important. So let's say I'm using this one, 40 and 20. So you can see now the width of the bar for the second one is highlighted. Okay, so that one is for changing the width of the bar. So let's say another one, you want to put some space. So space of the bar, right? So let me copy this one, and now I'm going to add another argument, which is space equal to 1. Right, so if you can see, I am creating space for each bar. Right, let's say I want to change it space equal to C1 and 2 and 3. So you can see for this, the first one is bigger space compared towards 2 and 3, right? So maybe 0.5 is just enough, right? So this is how we change the space of the bar, right? So let's look at another argument that we can put into a simple bar chart by adding legend, right? So adding legend. So in adding legend, we have some layout to put, where we can put bottom right, bottom only, or bottom left. Another one is we can put into left, top left, another one we have top, another one top right, and we also have right, and we also have center, right? So to see the how to add to see the help document of legend, we can type question mark legend, right? So we can see this is the legend argument, right? And then we also have the layout, which is you can see here, we can find the layout. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So we have bottom, bottom left, left, top left until center, right? So now to add the legend, let me copy this one, and I don't want to put some space here. I'm going to cancel the space and then make sure all in same width, right? So now I'm going to add another argument called as legend dot text, right? And then putting the value of the legend. This is 4 cylinder, right? And another one is 6 cylinder, and last one is 8 cylinder, right? And by putting the legend, I'm going to put somewhere based on our preference. This is by default on top left, top right, right? So we need, if you want to adjust, you can put argument legend, right? List, maybe I can put x equal to top right, right? So it will putting the legend in top right, right? And I also can adjust the size of the legend by CEX. Let's say I putting 0.75, it will change the size of the legend, right? And I can also input tell R to instead of putting in a vertical orientation, I can putting into horizontal. Horizontal equal to true, so it will change it to horizontal layout of legend. So I can change it to top left as well. So let's see, I changed it to top left, so it will change to top left, or I can putting it into center, so it will be center, or just top, so it will be on top, or bottom, so it will be on bottom. So you need to adjust the layout of legend by your own preference. I think the top right should be fit well in the bar graph. We can also remove the border of the legend by bty equal to none, right? So it will remove the border of legend, right? So I think this one should be look nice compared to previous, right? So that is for legend, right? So the next part we're going to see is how to make horizontal bar chart. So how to make horizontal bar chart? By rotating the bar chart to the horizontal layout. So I just copy this one and paste. So I need to add another argument, which is horizontal equal to true. So it will change the horizontal the bar graph to horizontal. So if you can see, when we change to horizontal, the legend is not really fit well in the graph, so we can change it to false, right? So it will change to a vertical legend. So this is going to be a nice presentation of simple bar chart, right? So now this is how to change to horizontal bar chart. So now let's look at into a deeper part of adjusting the element of a bar chart. For example, let's say we put the title adjusting the exist label and title style. So now we can change the font style by putting bold italic or bold italic, right, or normal, right? So font, we're going to use the function, the argument name as font exist right? Font axis can be either 1 is for normal, 2 for bold, 3 for italic, and last 4 equal to bold italic, right? So now let me copy this one and put in here. So instead of horizontal bar chart, I'm going to put it into a vertical bar chart, right? So to change the font style, right, so just the font dot axis equal to 2. So 2 means that it's going to be bold for the whole graph, right? So if you can see, the axis bold for each bar, right? Okay, so let's say I want to change the color, right? Color of axis, right? Axis label, right? So to change the color of axis label, so I'm going to add another one, color dot axis. So axis equal to, let's say we put in brown color, right? So it will change to brown color, if you can see, right? So let's say I want to increase the size of axis, increase the size of axis label, right? So to increase the size of axis label, so I'm going to add another one called as CX axis. Let's say 0. The default one is 1. Let's say I put 2, so it will change to 2. The size is going to be very bigger. So let's say I'm going to change it to 0.85, so it will change it to 0.85, very small, right? This is for axis, y-axis. Let's say I want to add change the size for label equal to 2. So you can see the label, the title for axis label is already increased to 2. So let's say I'm going to remain as 1, right? So that's it. And then let's say I want to change font label, size of font label. Let's say copy this one, add another one which is font dot label equal to 2. So it will change it to bold. If I change it to 3, it will become italic. If I change it to 4, it become bold italic. So I will remain as a bold italic 4, right? Okay, so sometimes when you have many bars, and we have each bar have a long names, right? So it will not fit into the bar. So this is very simple bar. We have 3 bars. So let's say you want to change the orientation of the label for each bar. So we're going to use LAS to change. So this is under rotating the axis label, right? So we're going to use LAS argument. So in LAS argument, 0 it become always parallel to the axis. This is by default, and 1 is equal to always horizontal, and 2 is equal to always perpendicular to axis, and number 3 is equal to always vertical. So this is the same thing, we just add more argument into the R function. So LAS equal to 2, so you can see the label for x-axis is already horizontal, let's say equal to 3, so this one is also vertical, and this is, let's say, 1, so this is always horizontal. Okay, so I think this is a very good one. So let's say 0 means that this is horizontal and parallel to the x-axis or y-axis. I think 1 should be okay, right? So let's say you change it to 2, right? So if you zoom this graph, right, so you cannot see the whole thing inside the label for each bar, right? So we can adjust the margin of the graph, right? So to adjust the margin of the graph, right, so we're going to use par function. So this is par function. So in par function we're going to use margin argument. So by default margin setting is 5, 4, 4, 2 plus 0.1. So what does it mean? It means that C, the first one is bottom, the second one is left, the third one is top, and last one is right. So how to use it? So if you can see, the bottom is very we want to adjust the bottom only, so we're going to use par margin. The default one is this one, right? So I'm going to put in here. So bottom is 5, so I'm going to reduce to 4. So sorry, this mar equal to this one, right? And then I'm going to copy this one and paste here. So you can see when we put 4, it should be more larger. Let's say I'm going to increase to 8, right? So now you can see the whole bar in as usual, right? So if you want to reset back to the original one, you just put 5 again. So now you can see, you cannot see, right? So that is how to adjust the margin of the graph. So sometimes in the bar graph you want to add a reference line, right? So we want to add some line inside the bar graph. So how to add line? So to add line, we're going to use one function known as add line. So let me reset this one again. So now I'm going to add a reference line, add line. This is after the function of bar plot. So this one I'm going to put H horizontal line at 20, right? So I'm going to create a line for at 20. So it will automatically create a line for y equal to 20. And of course you can change the layout of the line by putting the color. Let's say I want to put a red color, right? And then I want to change the thickness of the line. Let's say I'm going to make it thick, and then I want to change the layout of the line LTY, which is 2. So you can see now, let me create again. So you can see 3 means I create a thickness of the line. Let's say I increase 4, so it become more thicker. So I think 2 should be okay, right? And then LTY equal to 2 is basically, if you want to see the LTY function in R plot. So now let's look at this one. So we have 1 is solid line, 2 is dash line, 3 is dot line, 4 is dot dash, 5 is long dash, and 6 is 2 dash. So this is the type of line available for LTY, right? So this is how we input the line. So let's say you want to add a vertical line. So let's say I put V equal to 20. So it should be a vertical line here, right? So I'm not going to put a vertical line in the bar graph, right? So just a horizontal line. Okay, so that is for reference line. So let's say in most of bar graph, we usually display the value inside the bar. Means that the first bar should be representing the value of the mean mile per gallon. So adding text on each bar, right? So adding text on each bar. So let's say I'm going to use this one, right? And I'm going to store this one as a my bar. This bar graph I'm going to store as a my bar. So if I call my bar, it will display this graph basically. So now to add the text, we just put text function, right? My bar, we're going to put into a my bar, and what is the value that I'm going to put is the mean of the bar, of the mean of MPG, right? So then I'm going to put label paste around the mean per mile per gallon, and with 1 decimal point, right? So then I'm going to increase the size, or smaller the size lah, a bit, and put some offset equal to 2 and font equal to 3. So now you can see the value of the value of each for each bar is not really organized in a proper way, so we can change it to -1, so it will put some in space before, right? Or we can put some argument position equal to 2, right? I forgot to put comma, so it put 2, position equal to 1, should be somewhere here. So I think the best one is this one, right? And then offset CAX is basically to increase or decrease the bar, the value, right? By default, the font is 1, so I'm going to reduce the size to 0.85. so you can see 0.85 font is this one lah. So font equal to 2 means I'm going to make it bold, right? I think this is the best one. Okay, so that is how to put text in the bar graph, right? So this is for mean, right? So where we have the value of quantitative value. So for example, let's say for single variable with non-mixed quantitative variable. So this is a bit different compared previously. This is the y is in this graph. The y-axis is based on mean mile per gallon, right? So let's say I want to change it to my bar 1. So let's say this is my bar 1. Instead of putting this one, I think it should be table my data CYL. Right, so now and then instead of YLab should be frequency, right? And then I don't want to put legend, right? So I'm going to hide the legend, right? So this is original for based on the frequency value, right? So to add the text, the value of frequency, my bar 1, y equal to table my data cyl, and putting the label should be table my data cyl, and I'm going to adjust the size, which is 0.85, position equal to 3, offset equal to 4. Offset means that you're going to reduce the space. Font equal to 3, right? So let's say I changed offset equal to 1, so it will be above the bar, right? Let's say -6, it should be more downwards, right? So this is how we change and input the label on the bar graph for a single value based on the frequency data, right? Okay, so the next part is I want to show you how to adjust the limit of the bar. So if you look at the original one, which is this one, right? Let me run this one. If you can see, the first bar is exceed 25 basically, but we want to show the audience that the limit still until what extent, to what extent, so 25 or 30, right? So we're going to change the limit by putting y limit equal to, let's say, c from 0 to 35, for example. So it will show us from 0 to 35, but if you can see, 35 is quite longer, right? So I want to change it to 30, so to make sure the graph is just nice, right? Okay, so then I can put some text inside, right? So let me put text. So before I forgot, the text also I can change the color. Let's say I want to change it to blue, right? So I will change it to blue, right? So this is the value of mean, right? I think blue is not very good, so brown should be okay. Okay. Alright, next one, right? I want to show you how to adjust the background of the chart. So sometimes by default the background is white color, so I want to change it to another color. So let's say I'm going to use par bg equal to, let's say I'm going to use some very light color, let's say gray color or green color, like this. Okay, I think this one should be okay. Alright, and then I put it in here. Okay, and then I'm just copy the whole thing and paste again, right? Should be nice, right? Okay, so this is how we change the background of the color. Then after that, if you have done with everything, just reset it back to white, right? So if you can see, it will change it to white again. So this is how to change the background of the graph. So sometimes if you can see, for this basic graph, for x-axis it does not contain any lines, right? So sometimes we want to create a line, right? Create line for x-axis. So to create line for x-axis, very simple, right? You just copy the whole thing, right? and then I'm going to put I want to put exist.lty equal to 4, I think 4 or 2 lah. 2 should be okay. So if you can see, it's already create a line for x axis. Right, you can see line. This is a line type 2. So let's say I want to change the line to type 1. So it will be line for type 1. So a straight line. Okay, that's all. I think that's all for third video. Third video demonstration for simple bar chart by adjusting the element of the bar graph. So we will continue on the next video number 4, which is we will going to look into how to create a group bar chart, stack bar chart. Right, I think you will get something to learn in this video. The R code I will put into a link description on the link. Right, I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.